Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. And
Yes,
you're
I
a
am.
gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
I'm not sexually active right now. I've chosen not to engage.
Doesn't that make you gay?
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Careful who your heroes are because, well, they may disappoint you. You know, Fox News has been going through some tough times recently, but let me tell you, I didn't think it could get worse for them after the firing of Tucker Carlson filing a lawsuit, the loss of audience, but now it turns out that people are leaking from inside of the building what the policies of Fox actually are, and let's just say they're not for free speech. Let's read here this massive report from the Daily Signal. Leaked policy exposes Fox News stance on woke ideology. First on the Daily Signal, Fox News employees are allowed to use bathrooms that align with their gender ideology rather than their biological sex, permitted to dress in assignment with their preferred gender, and they must also be addressed by their preferred pronouns in the workplace. These are just a few of the policies outlined in the company handbook, dated January 2021, so this has been going on for the better part of 3 years, a copy of which was shared with the Daily Signal. Fox also offers employees to come to the workplace transition plan to ease their gender transition at work. My God. The revelations come amid conservative consternation at Fox's digital use of activist language and gender-affirming care in stories on its websites, as well as the site's consistent use of pronouns. The pronouns that are demanded, not by law, but by leftist tautology. Fox also drew strong backlash for June 2022 airing of a segment praising a gender transition for a child. I remember this one from last year. The Daily Signal talked with current and former Fox employees who requested anonymity. They want you to think, there's a quote from a Fox News employee, they want you to think that it's their this place that supports traditionally conservative values, said a former producer for Tucker Carlson Tonight, told the Daily Signal. But in reality, they're pushing this nonsense behind the scene. Carlson's show was canceled on April 24th, and now Fox News has lost virtually all of their audience. These policies has, of course, led to headlines like this across actual conservative news sites like Breitbart. Woke Fox News imposes transgenderism on workforce. That's exactly what you're trying to do when you're demanding preferred pronouns be used, when you're demanding that people are able to use the restroom of their choice inside of your workplace. You are effectively frauds, because your hosts are going out on TV talking about the evils of this kind of stuff, radical gender ideology, but then you are shoving it down the throats of your workforce. Now, the reason why they're doing this is potentially because Fox News is located in the heart of Manhattan. Maybe there's some type of law in New York that says that you have to do this kind of stuff. I'm not actually sure. I don't think so. I think that's unconstitutional because those are forced speech codes. But nonetheless, maybe Fox is just trying to prevent a lawsuit. They hire too many leftists, Fox News. This is something that everyone tells me all the time, that Fox News is stacked with leftists. I got to tell you, I worked for a media company run out of New York. You can't have a media company run out of New York without staffing entirely with brain-damaged leftists. And so, of course, you're going to have policies like this eventually. You want to avoid the lawsuit. I'm not trying to obscure Fox from the blame here. They're rightly getting absolutely destroyed. Matt Walsh says, I've been personally blacklisted from appearing on the network because of my stance on these issues, talking about the radical transgender ideology issues. This is confirmed by the Daily Signal, and I've heard it from Fox producers. It gets worse. Tucker fought behind the scenes against my blacklisting and even managed to have me on a few times over the past year. But now that he's gone, there's no stopping Fox's march leftward. Now there's zero daylight between Fox and MSNBC on the trans issue. Fox needs to get the full Bud Light treatment. They're actively working to suppress conservative voices while promoting leftism in its most radical form. Enough is enough. So what I would argue is you got to move your media companies out of New York. What is this old decrepit world where your media company has to operate out of New York? Newsmax operated out of Florida it was much better run. Newsmax had a New York office, but it was much better run out of Florida. Actually, Newsmax is doing great. Here, according to Daily Mail, CNN's ratings plummet. Check out this chart I thought was fascinating. CNN primetime drops in ratings. The blue is Newsmax. The red is CNN. Newsmax is now defeating CNN in the 8, 9, and 10 p.m. hours. That is monster. That is massive. CNN, of course, had their highest ratings, like they've seen in years when they had the Donald Trump town hall. So Fox News is effectively committing murder-suicide. They are committing suicide against their own brand because nobody is watching cable news anymore. The new looming existential crisis for cable news. This was just published today at the Washington Post, where this writer reflects on the fact that cable news is dying. During the first quarter of 2023, 2.3 million customers cut the cord, cable news. As recently as 2016, 70% of all households with a TV had cable or satellite subscriptions. Now that's just under 40%. That is a catastrophic drop. You can't continue the industry. You can't continue your industry with those kind of numbers. Tucker Carlson is now suing Fox News for fraud, contract breach, or at the very least, he's sending very angry letters to Fox News. Tucker Carlson, 2 weeks after being ousted by Fox News, is accusing them of fraud and breach of contract, and made a host of document demands that could precede legal action. The aggressive letter from his lawyers to Fox positions, Carlson argues the non-compete provisions in his contract are no longer valid, freeing him to launch his own show or competing media enterprise. Tucker Carlson has reportedly been offered all of Newsmax, to take over all of Newsmax. And with ratings like these, why the hell not? CNN is absolutely in disaster range here. And of course, this was just hysterical. This was just the greatest moment in CNN history. Wouldn't that be amazing if this is what brought them all down? Caitlin Collins getting just wrecked. For his part, Rupert Murdoch was asked about this in front of Fox News. Rupert Murdoch wandered out to his car in front of Fox a couple of weeks ago.
Mr. Murdoch, did you fire Tucker Carlson? Did you fire my favorite guy, Tucker Carlson? We really like Tucker Carlson. Why'd you fire
so
him?
old.
Can you just tell me why you fired him?
And he's so short.
Please?
And they're such liars. This is the dirty little secret, and I've heard it from a bunch of people who worked at Fox and a bunch of people who worked inside of this ecosystem, is that Fox News is a leftist company, that the Murdochs themselves are leftist. They're Joe Biden donors, and that this company is a Trojan horse for leftism inside of the conservative ecosystem, and that's proven by their own company policies. Dangerous, dangerous stuff. I agree with Walsh. They deserve the Bud Light treatment. I mean, until they come to their senses on these things, you don't get to take our dollars, and you don't get to have the faith of the conservative movement, which is the vast majority of the people in this country who actually believe in common sense, biology, and natural rights. You don't get to get the benefits of that without actually walking the walk. No. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. Ladies and gentlemen, what's also cheap is subscribing to this channel and making sure that you stay connected with us. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy, Benny. See ya.